Hi, this is Ant and welcome back to Unboxing Music. Today we've got a bit of a special because 2 months ago Pink Floyd announced their Dark Side of the Moon 50th anniversary box set special edition. It had a huge amount of stuff in it, but it was coming in at about £250, $300 US, and I didn't think it was particularly good value for money. I thought it was a ridiculous price and I just wasn't interested in it. And it's somewhat ironic that the lyric of Money, one of the songs on Dark Side of the Moon, is actually about the evils of money. Grab that cash with both hands and make a stash. It's a lot of money. Anyway, so for me there wasn't really anything too interesting in the box set apart from the Wembley 74 performance of Dark Side of the Moon. And there was also a really interesting photo book with rare and unseen photographs, primarily taken by Jill Furmanovsky, who was quite closely associated with Pink Floyd in the 70s. So I dismissed that particular box set at the time, just wasn't interested at that sort of price. Yeah, if I was going to spend 250 quid on a box set, I'd want a lot more for it. Pink Floyd are renowned for putting out these huge box sets at ridiculous amounts of money. Anyway, a couple of days later, saw that there was an advert for individual items that I wanted from the box set, namely that photo book and the Wembley performance, and they were at a reasonable price as well. I think the photo book came in originally at £36 and the vinyl at £19. And since then the prices have come down and Amazon have given me a nice little discount on them as well. Both went down by £2.99. So I was quite pleased. So it was a £16 one purchase for the album and £33 and a penny for the photo book, which was published by Turner & Hudson. Here it is. It has arrived and I'm ready to unbox this for you. Let's get into it and find out what it's all about. First of all, I need a knife.
2 seconds later.
Let's go. I'm sure there are people horrified out there using a knife in this way. I don't care. And we're in. Woohoo! This is carefully trying to destroy everything. Right. So, this is the book. Woohoo! This is really substantial actually. A really heavy duty piece of goods. Right, so put that down. And in here we also have let's get rid of the outer box. We've got another box. LP packaging. Let's give this a quick rip. Hopefully I can do it all in one. Very satisfying. And flip it around. And out it comes. Wow. The 50th anniversary edition of the Wembley. Well, I suppose it isn't 50th anniversary because it was filmed, it was in 1974, so that would be 49th anniversary. Close, but no cigar. And I don't smoke, so I'm not going to have a cigar. Very poor joke there. Right, so what we have is a very similar packaging, a very similar cover to the original Dark Side of the Moon. And obviously it's just a draw. The cover is representing a drawing, presumably a schematic of what they were going to produce on the final image. And I think it looks really effective actually. That's the back side of the album. Nice sticker telling us exactly what's in here. Live at Wembley 74, recorded at the Empire Pool, which is now Wembley Arena, at Wembley, London. Max on heavyweight 180 gram vinyl. I've got the track listing. Produced by Pink Floyd, mixed by Andy Jackson and Damon Idins or Idins, not sure. Now I'm not one to keep the plastic or the cellophane, the poly shrink wrap, whatever you want to call it. I generally tend to take it off and throw it away because it can warp your records if it's on long term. What I tend to do in these cases is cut out the sticker and put it inside, so just to keep it safe. So let's get into this. Right, back to the knife, and I'm going to put this down here. This obviously needs to be done a little more gently because I don't want to tear at anything. Ooh, there we go. Get it in there. Slide it all the way down and all the way to the top. Fantastic. And what we have in here, actually I'm going to do it all the way around. Let's do this properly. Slip that along there. Woohoo. That's one side. Now the other, this is probably, if you're watching this, you probably think this is probably better than watching paint dry, but not by much. So it's always an exciting moment getting into vinyl. A quick sniff. Doesn't smell particularly pleasant actually. Let's finish off slicing this off. There we go. You come. That's the shrink wrap carefully taken off. The cover is actually like it's not a gloss cover, it's like a mattish cover. Feels quite nice. And opening it up, and it's almost, yeah, this is really interesting. This is almost like the original cover, but with done out as a mock-up, as it were, with the lyrics and everything. Really interesting. Now, there are some extras with this album, so let me pull these out. Ooh, right. So the extras, first of all, are a couple of posters. I'm not going to fully open them. Partly open them so you can see them. This is I think this is a Gerald Scarfe drawing of the tour from Winter Tour 1974 with the dates. Where did they play? Edinburgh, Newcastle, London, Stoke, Cardiff, Liverpool, Birmingham. The Palace Theatre in Manchester, which is of interest to me, being in Manchester, and Bristol. And the next one is this is the time montage cartoon, which is displayed as part of the show. This looks fantastic as well. Would have been nice if they put some stickers in here. Let's see if there are any stickers. No, there's no stickers in here, which would have been, it would have been nice if they'd a couple of stickers that would have represented like a drawing of the original stickers which were in the original Dark Side of the Moon album. Anyway, here we go. This is the vinyl. Oh, I've got to admit, it does feel very substantial. It is a proper heavyweight version. It comes in a poly sleeve as well. Let's pull this out. Oh wow, that looks absolutely incredible. There you go. That's side 2, and that is side 1. So let me put this back in, and again it's got a little poly sleeve, so that's really good for protecting the albums. Wish all albums did that. It would save collectors like myself a little bit of money. Anyway, so that is the album. Now let's get into the book. There's no stickers on this, so I'm not particularly too fussed about the keeping the polythene intact. Just going to give it a quick snip. just to break it so I can then rip it off. There we go. So here's the book. What's really nice about this is that you probably can't see, but it's got a, you can now, it's a dust cover that it's got on it. And so that's the front of the cover. At the back of it, it's got some marks. It's got like glue on here. That's interesting. So this is the dust cover, and it says 50 years ago Pink Floyd released The Dark Side of the Moon to worldwide acclaim. The official anniversary volume is a testament to the enduring popularity of this groundbreaking album, presenting rare and unseen backstage and onstage photography of the band during the album tours of 1972 to 1975. This beautiful book also reveals the visual conception of the iconic album artwork. Okay, so this is the front cover of the book. I'll just flick through a few pages here. I'm going to have a more detailed look through this in a little while. I'm not going to give the game away too much. Looks really, really good. Incredibly well printed. Fabulous quality. Yes. Very nice. Going to really enjoy looking at that while I play the album, which is exactly what I'm going to do now, and I will give you my thoughts in a short while. See you shortly. So I'm back from the Dark Side of the Moon, and the journey was quite remarkable without any artificial enhancements, and it's quite remarkable how alive the original Dark Side of the Moon becomes when played live. The mix is absolutely stunning. David Gilmour's voice is a lot more is gruffer and comes across a lot more forcefully as well. There's alternative build-ups and endings to the songs. On the Run stands out as being quite different. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Richard Wright's voice as well. That comes across quite differently. Again, it stands out a lot more as an individual voice than it does on the original version of Time. Nick Mason's drumming, it's much more heavy-handed, and when you've got songs like Money, which has much more of a rock and roll feel to it, his drumming really drives the song along, much more so than the original album. Dick Parry's sax is beautifully understated at the beginning of Us and Them. Really thoroughly enjoyed that. And then at the end we've got the chiming of a church bell, which ends the performance. Overall, and bearing in mind this is a live performance of an absolutely iconic album, it's superb. Really well edited. I believe, and I might be wrong in this, I might not be, but I believe that Money and Any Colour You Like have been edited down for this particular release. Both of them contain some people would call it unnecessary noodling from David Gilmour, which extended the songs somewhat, and that has been cut out. So the songs are a little bit tighter, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed listening to it. I'm going to have another listen to it a little later. I think it's far better than the version which is on Pulse. I think the version on Pulse just comes across as being a bit of a commercial grab. I listened to it at the beginning of the month and it still doesn't do much for me at all. But yeah, this is just brilliant. So that's the album. Now let's talk about the book. The book is actually broken down into 5 sections. You've got the backstage photographs, you've got sound check photographs, photographs from the shows, the after shows, brought in some artwork as well that's been involved with Dark Side of the Moon, such as the posters which came with the original. And to correct something that I said earlier, photographer Jill Furmanovsky actually curated the book. And whilst the book contains a lot of her photographs from her archive, there are photographs from the Pink Floyd archive, as well as from Storm Thorgerson and Aubrey Poe Powell. Now, that I can't remember offhand, there may be one or two other photographs from other people, but that's where the majority of the photographs came from. And it's incredible. I really enjoyed going through this book whilst I was listening to the album. Going through it, it's actually timed perfectly. Not quite a Yellow Brick Road moment, but going through this and listening to the album synced perfectly for me. Sadly, this copy of the book is going to go back. I'm going to get it replaced. The marks on the back of the not the only problem. On page 109, I've got some red dots which are on one of the pages, and you know, if you're paying 33 quid for a book, which is probably about $36, $37, you want it perfect, you know, and I want a perfect copy, so it's going back. I'll let you know how it goes. I'll post something in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, well, you can hit the other button, and if you want to see more content from me, subscribe to my channel. And in the meantime, I will see you in the next video. And remember, there's no dark side of the moon. As a matter of fact, it's all dark. See ya.